Kevin Sheridan is a Republican strategist and former communications director for House Speaker Paul Ryan's vice presidential campaign. He joins me now from Washington. All right, so Kevin, do you think that new Fox News poll that Dean mentioned will have state party officials second-guessing their support of Moore?
Yeah, the state party stands alone, I think, in terms of official Republican functionaries to actually be still supportive of Roy Moore. The National Party obviously has ditched him. The NRSC has cut off funding, RNC as well. The president has not weighed in yet, and he may be the only person that could actually have an effect on getting him out of the race. But yeah, Republicans, I think, are scared. I don't think Roy Moore is necessarily going to ever get out on his own. But it doesn't look like he'll ever be seated as a senator, even if he wins. Well,
let's talk about the president. He's head of the party. Why do you think he hasn't weighed in yet? And do you think that at some point he will have to?
Yeah, I thought he might do it today. He had been trending that way. It seemed as though that he may, but instead he took the kind of the Sean Hannity position that let the voters decide. He may think that he wouldn't be successful in actually getting him off the, he can't get off the ballot really. He's still going to be on it, but maybe get him out of the race and try a write-in candidate. Maybe he doesn't think he can do it and he doesn't want the loss. But he's going to be continued to be asked about this, and I don't know that it's tenable to continue to just say nothing about it. I think he's going to have to say something about it soon.
Do you think that the questions surrounding the president's Access Hollywood tape perhaps are a factor in that decision?
Yeah, it's hard to think that they're not. And that may be playing into his calculation here, and he doesn't think that he's the right voice for it. However, he has denied every one of those accusations, and you know, we really hadn't heard a lot about it since that since that time, and it may come back. And you know, the Democrats are wrestling with this themselves. They've 19 years, 20 years in the making. You know, a reckoning is going on now that the Clintons aren't useful to them anymore. Suddenly, everyone believes his accusers, and so Bill Clinton's legacy is now trashed, and it looks like it's going to get worse for the Clintons. In the near term here, as every Democrat that defended him at the time is now saying, yeah, I think we may believe his accusers.
Yeah, well, let's talk about Democrats today. We learned about allegations against Democratic Senator Al Franken on Thursday. What did you make, first of all, the response from both Democrats and Republicans and from Senator Franken himself?
Well, Senator Franken's second apology, I guess, his longer written apology today was probably about as good as you could do in terms of acknowledging it and apologizing for it, if that's what he's doing. The question I think we'll all have is whether or not more women come out, if this was a pattern of behavior for him, what the ethics committee finds on this, and what ultimately his fate is. I think, in the long term, or in the 2020 term, his chances of ever running for president are now pretty much finished. And I think we just have to see if anybody else comes out.
Nobody has called for him to resign yet. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think this one incident probably wouldn't be enough to do it. So I think we'll just have to see how the ethics investigation plays out. Like I said, though, if more come out, he may have to resign. Now, there's a Democrat, well, effectively a Democrat governor in Minnesota, so that seat would remain Democratic and be up in a few years.
All right, Kevin Sheridan in Washington for us. Kevin, thank you so much.
Thank you.